We've all been in one once or twice in our life before, and we commonly refer to them as cars, but aka automobiles. You've probably seen one, you've probably been in one, or you've probably even owned one at this point in time in your life. In anticipation for this speech, I researched a lot about cars, how they were started, how they've changed over time, and basically about the usage of cars. So it was just a matter of time before Europe and Asia started to produce their own cars. Firstly, I'm going to talk to you guys about how the automobile started, and secondly, how it has changed over time. So now that I've talked to you guys about what we're going to be discussing, let's move on to our first point, and let's talk about how it was started. The car, basically, it was first started by a man named Carl Benz, who was of German origin. He founded it in 1885, and the source that I used, Bruno, the author of the article, told the readers that basically the car was a three-wheeled car, it had an open top, and it was gas-powered, or gasoline-powered, so typical gas car just like we use today. And Carl got the idea because he wanted to make life easier to get from point A to point B, with no hassle having to walk. I guess he was lazy back then, I don't know. And then another man named Gottlieb Daimler started to think about the car, and he wanted to enhance it. He wanted to make it better. He wanted to see how he could enhance it, and him and his co-worker Wilhelm Maybach, they started to make their own line of cars. So the biggest difference they did was they made the car four-wheel to add more stability, and some of their cars had the top. So that way, if it were to rain, you don't have to drive around the car with an umbrella at the top. You can just, have the hood, the top. Mm-hmm. And from that, Wilhelm Maybach started up the company called Maybach, which is a car manufacturer, a prestige luxury car manufacturer, and they specialize in luxury cars for the affluent people. The image of and use of the car has changed dramatically over the years. The car has gone from an open top, an open engine, to everything being enclosed. The less of the car's mechanics you show is better now. Cars have gone from, like Model T Fords, so what we presently see as Toyota, Honda, Acura, Volkswagen, the general cars. With over 2 billion cars presently in the world, and there's still more being made, there's always a demand for cars, so people are always going to have to come out with better ideas and keep producing cars, basically, as reported by Sperling, one of my sources that I use. There are about 40 companies presently produce cars, and of those 40, there's 3 top ones, which include Toyota, they include Volkswagen, and General Motors. General Motors is US-based, Toyota is Japanese-based, and Volkswagen is German-based, as according to my other source by the author of Kofi. With these different car makers, there's obviously, a lot to choose from, and so consumers, before they were stuck, they had the Model T Ford only, and then they had a couple more designs of cars, but now, there's so many options to pick from. So that's one of the biggest things how cars have changed over the time period, because there's a lot more options now. So, and the usage of cars has changed a lot over the years. Before cars were used for, it was just it was a trial thing. It was the Model T Ford. They drove from point A to point B, and then they had rally cars where they had races. And now cars are used today, for they use them in NASCAR. They use them, illegal street racing. They have monster trucks, so they have, the stereotypical soccer mom van. They use that for, carrying the children around. They have everything now for cars. And in conclusion, with the start of cars in the U.S., it was truly just a matter of time till the whole world started to develop the idea of, hey, we need a car too, and how can we adapt to make our car better than the other so we can sell ours more. And today I've informed you about how cars have started, who started it, who were the ones who started the production line, who uses cars, why were cars even first made by the man Carl Benz, and basically how they change over the time, you know, usage-wise, car-wise, body-wise. And next time you get in a car, man, maybe you'll appreciate the car more. You'll think like, hey, you know, I'm sitting in this car now. It has air conditioning. I have the radio on. I have power windows, power locks. You know, back then they didn't have any of that. You know, it was just a simple Model T Ford.